Hi, this is Rob from Lincoln Electronics, inviting you to catch the excitement of football on HDTV. We have low prices, service after the sale, and 7 delivery are available. This month's specials: 32-inch TV for $4.99, 42-inch TV for $7.99, and a 50-inch TV for $9.99. Lincoln Electronics is your place to buy HDTV. Lincoln Electronics, 1358 Lincoln Way East, Chambersburg, or check us out online at lincolnelectronics.com.
Welcome to PO Sports Talk. I'm Ed Gottwals along with Joel Rainier. Before we get into this week's football games, which is the second week of the season, let's take a quick look back at the big game last week. Chambersburg at Greencastle. Greencastle won 20-17 on Luke Bittner's last-second field goal. In some ways, the game turned out just like we expected because either team had a chance to win, and it was close pretty much the whole way. But what do you get out of that game, Joel?
I think I was just impressed at how well each team played. The first week's pretty sloppy normally and a lot of feeling out process. I thought the kids were, well composed and made plays, in a big situation like that where, most of these kids have never played in front of a crowd like that. And it seemed to be well played, not a lot of penalties, a couple turnovers at the end, but they were all more good plays than they were, sloppiness.
Yeah, I was really impressed that Luke Bittner was able to hit that kick. I think most people, I told somebody he probably had about a 10% chance of making it, and he just drilled it. There was no question.
Right, in his first game ever, he never played a varsity football game in his life, and he's on the soccer team as a defensive player. So that was a pretty neat way to end, a thrilling Friday night.
Yeah. We'll move on to this week. Chambersburg plays another area team this week, Waynesboro. They're going to meet for the first time since 1999. They play at Trojan Stadium at 7 o'clock, and the Chambersburg Gridiron Club is asking Trojan fans to do a whiteout. This game should be probably a little bit different than last week, I'm thinking.
Yeah, Waynesboro's really struggling and lost 49-0 to Susquehanna Township. And, they got a new coach in Scott Shakru.
Yep.
I guess they call him Coach Shack. We'll go with that. But the Trojans should be able to get them on the board with a win if they play like they did last week. It's going to be baby steps for the Indians right now.
Okay, we have only one other game on Friday this week, which is kind of unusual. Greencastle's playing at New Oxford at 7:30. This is kind of a sandwich game for the Blue Devils because they got Chambersburg last week, and they got a big game at Susquehanna Township next week. So you just have to worry about a little bit of letdown here.
One key thing is New Oxford gave up 335 rushing yards last week, which is the bread and butter for Greencastle. So you think Greencastle could go down there and take care of business as long as they don't turn the ball over. That's something that hurt them last year on the road in a couple of road games. So.
Okay, we have 3 games on Saturday this week. Shippensburg is at Kennerdale at 1 o'clock. James Buchanan is at Carson Long at 1:30. And Spingarn, a team from D.C., is at Mercersburg at 2. Shippensburg last week just mauled Middletown, which I don't think anybody saw coming. Not that they could have won, but I certainly never would have seen that kind of result. So what do you know about Kennerdale, Joel? Anything?
They won on the last-second touchdown against York Catholic last week. Seemed to be pretty solid on both sides. But, the way Shippensburg played, they can get Tade Stadium running like he did with 5 touchdowns and over 200 yards. I don't think they should go down there feeling intimidated at all. I think they might have a good chance to go 2-0 because York's traditionally not as strong in football as they are in other sports.
And James Buchanan at Carson Long. I know Carson Long has struggled as a program for quite a few years. It's a really small military school in Perry County. So James Buchanan actually has a chance to win this week.
This is a good shot for them to get their first win. I think if they don't win this one, they'd be in trouble maybe for the rest of the year. But this will be a good confidence booster for the kids who they did show some good things in the second half against Reading Central Catholic after falling behind big early. Coy Quivers and Robert Lee kind of stood out there in the second half.
Yeah. And Spingarn is coming up to play Mercersburg for the second straight year. And last year, I think Mercersburg handled them pretty easily.
Yeah, Mercersburg doesn't have a lot coming back, but this should be a nice way to introduce these kids to varsity football, and should be able to pull out a win, I think, in this one.
Okay, until next week, enjoy the games.